What's up, everybody? All right, you guys. So before I get started with this case, let me say this. There is a story that is circulating around social media. And in this case, a lot of people feel like something else may have happened. So I want to start off this video by saying this. My heart goes out to the family of Nyair Allen. So this video is in no way meant to accuse anyone of anything, but Nyair's story deserves to be told. So 18-year-old Shamaya Nyair Allen, she's a mother and she's from Indianapolis, Indiana. And a few days ago, sadly, her life was cut short. So Nyair was apparently in a relationship with a man that goes by Jackson Tatted on social media, but his real name is Brian. Now, Brian is 34 and he is the father of Nyair's baby. So the circumstances surrounding Nyair's death, they're extremely suspicious. Now, seeing as that this is the only POV that we have, I'm going to tell you guys the story from what Brian posted on his social media. So we know that him and Nyair, they share a son. But Brian is saying that he also had another girlfriend. Now, he's saying that on the night that everything took place, Nyair came over to his house while this girl was at his house. From what he's saying, Nyair broke into the house and a fight broke out between Nyair and that other girl. The other girl was 3 times her size, so he's saying that the other girl basically got the best of her. Now, y'all, there is a lengthy social media post on his Facebook, so if you want to go over there and look at that, his name is Jackson Tatted on Facebook. But to sum it up, after that fight, he's saying that he got Nyair out of his house by telling her that he called the police. Now, this is where the story gets kind of weird, because even though he said that he got Nyair out of the house, he's claiming that she broke back inside of his house. So eventually the police do come, and while he's at the door talking to the police, Nyair is inside of the house, and that's when they hear a shot being fired. From what he's saying, that's when the police discovered her suffering from a GSW. He's saying that Nyair did this to herself. So the trouble that everybody is having on social media is the events that occurred after the fact. So y'all, after she was already gone, there was an unaliving letter that came up on her page. Now, this has everybody scratching their head because how could she have posted this letter if she was already unalive? Another thing about this letter is the entire letter is about Brian. In this letter, she speaks highly of Brian. She's saying that everything was her fault. And it just doesn't seem like somebody who's about to unalive themselves is going to write a letter about somebody else. Another thing I have to point out is her mother actually shared the post and she said that those were not her daughter's last words, and we all know who actually wrote that post. Also, you guys, somebody exposed messages from Brian that he sent to somebody else. And in those messages, that person confronts him about writing that fake letter. And y'all, in his response, he basically kind of admitted to writing it, saying that he was receiving threats and people were saying they're going to do something to him. In so many words, he admitted to writing it in order to protect himself. But then Brian would take to Facebook and say, look, I didn't write that post. She actually scheduled that post before she passed away. Now he's claiming that Nyair asked him how to schedule a post. And he's saying he had no idea that she was asking him that so she could schedule a post for her own unaliving. Now y'all, let me say this. There are too many coincidences in this case. You can tell from the beginning that this was a very toxic situation. She was 18, he was 34. Not to mention they already had a 1-year-old child, meaning that they had to meet each other before she was of age. Now let me say this, everyone is innocent until proven guilty. We're not accusing anyone of anything. But the way Brian is trying to paint himself as this savior, as this person who tried to help her, every post that he has made since she has passed has basically looked exactly like that unaliving letter. Now, let me say this, you guys. I don't know what happened at that house. So allegedly, there was another girl there that he was sleeping with. Not only that, he's claiming that her unaliving did not happen until after the police arrived. So if what Brian is saying is true, there should be a police report to back up what he's saying. But y'all, to me, this case is way deeper. This girl was 18 years old. He was in his mid-30s. To me, it's the way he handled her after her death. Posting pictures of the scene, showing where she unalived herself, making it seem as if she was just this troubled person and he tried to save her and it was all her and not him. This is not something that somebody would do that actually loved you. Now, my heart breaks for her family because not only do they have to deal with the fact that she's gone, they also have to deal with all of this stuff that Brian is putting on social media. If you did nothing wrong, why would you write that unaliving letter and post it on social media like it was her? And from what I'm hearing, somebody has been active on her page since she passed away. This case is heartbreaking to me because she was just starting her life. She was barely an adult. And you can tell that he used that against her. He knew that she was young. He knew that she was vulnerable. Like I said before, y'all, to me, this case is way past her taking her own life. There was a lot of things that happened leading up to this situation. Now, I'm really curious as to you guys' thoughts on this case. Do you believe that there is more that went on? Do you believe that Brian is telling the truth? Or do you believe he did something to Nyair and he's trying to frame it as if she unalived herself? Now, like I said before, everybody is innocent until proven guilty. We're not accusing anyone of anything. And to the family, my heart completely breaks for you. I'm hoping and praying that you guys get answers soon. Comment below and let me know your thoughts.